Good evening. This is our Uncle Yab, and we're gabbing with Yab. And tonight we want to talk about the Derrick Chauvin case. Here's my co-host again, Richard Carrick. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great tonight, man.
All right. So the latest and greatest with this Chauvin case is what I've been hearing is that basically what they've been trying to do is slandering George Floyd's name.
Yes.
Now that's something that I don't like.
No.
And I was wondering why and how is that relevant to what Chauvin did to him?
Right.
You know, can you give me some answers to it?
I wish I had some. I'm glad you started off by saying the Chauvin case, because a lot of people have been saying the George Floyd case.
Right, right.
And it's not the George Floyd case.
Exactly. He's not on trial.
That's right. Chauvin's on trial. But yeah, I noticed that they've been slandering him, and I'm really, it really hurts because they're trying to take away from what actually happened to him. You know.
Right, right.
What actually happened to George Floyd, because what they're doing is, he was on drugs, he had fentanyl in his system and all these things.
Yeah.
So that excuses, him being murdered.
And I say one doesn't have nothing to do with the other.
Exactly.
First of all, this man is not on trial.
Right.
Chauvin is on trial
Right.
for the murder of George Floyd.
Right.
So, and I just, like I said, I just don't get it. And I looked at a couple of segments in the trial, and they had a couple of witnesses that came up and were talking, and basically, man, it was really hard for them. They broke down in tears and stuff like that, because this is the real, not, I won't say sad case, but a real case where it's as far as feelings is concerned.
Right.
Because the individual died.
Yes.
And they had one young lady that I saw. She was one of the EMTs, I think. Okay. And she was letting the judge know how she felt about it and what she thought should have been happening. And the judge, in turn, told her to stick to the facts. Like, he didn't want to hear no other BS.
Right.
But I'm saying to myself, this woman is trying to explain to you what she saw.
Right.
And it's hard because, she was in tears and stuff like that, And it was crazy. So, another instance where it was the guy that was actually in the store that called the police on George.
Okay.
And he said he later regretted it, and I forgot why he said that. But I think it may have been a situation where he probably didn't think he was going to go that far.
Right.
Because it had something to do with that $20, right? The counterfeit money.
It's supposed to be a fake $20 bill.
Yeah. And you can elaborate on it some more.
No, it's really it's amazing, man. It hurts because, like you said, I saw the same segment you were talking about, and I saw the dispatcher, who was really good, who said, she was, she was on point and she was speaking from the heart.
Right.
And she worked for the system, so it wasn't like she was, someone that was just trying to say he was innocent or he didn't deserve what he got.
Right.
But everybody that seems like that kind of touched that case came out feeling, George Floyd got the wrong end of the deal, except for the officers that were involved, but everybody else that witnessed it, that experienced it, because it changed so many people's lives, man. It changed the country.
That's right. That's
and
true.
the thing is that I'm worried about is that it's going to change it again if it doesn't come right. If that decision doesn't go right, because a lot of people are saying, well, he got, his family got 27 million, so they should be happy. They should be satisfied with that, but that's not the justice that he deserves, or that we as a people deserve. Because I was driving earlier and I was in the car listening to talk radio, and I just heard people, man. And this is a station I listen to. It's mostly Caucasian.
Right.
Person after person called in and talked about he was an animal. He had all this fentanyl in him. He was so big and scary and all these things, man. And I said, wow. I thought the country had shifted a little bit, but after listening to that, it kind of just reinforced the whole storming storming the White House thing, because I couldn't believe people were calling and no one had any compassion for him dying. No one had any. They said he should have just listened to the police and he should have done what he was told and he wouldn't have died. And that mindset really scared me, because people that have never experienced a bad relationship with the police can't really
say.
and they can't identify. But I'm concerned about what might happen.
I mean, like you said, people calling in the radio station, they talking like that with no sympathy.
Right.
But they don't understand if this guy, well, okay, I'm not going to even say they don't, well, as far as the tape is concerned, you know, they showed the tape, they showed the evidence of what was going on.
Right.
He wasn't refusing nothing.
Right.
Maybe he was saying a little bit, maybe he refusing a little, but he wasn't aggressively refusing.
Right.
There's a difference between refusing and
Right.
aggressively refusing.
Right. Right.
So, number two, you have 4 police officers out there, man.
Right.
This man, yeah, okay, he's a big guy, I get it. But as far as a police officer is concerned, and once again, we talked about this before in the last podcast, you need to be trained to subdue a person of that size,
right.
regardless if he's 4 foot tall or
right.
7 feet tall.
Right.
If you need backup or need to go to your training, you need to go into that bag of tricks and find out what type of way is it to take this individual down.
Yeah.
You know, from what I saw, in the tape and everything like that he was already handcuffed.
Yeah.
So when a person's handcuffed, that's game over with.
Yeah.
You already subdued.
Right.
Now, he wasn't flailing. He wasn't agitated, anything like that I saw.
Right.
So what's the reason why they couldn't get him in the police car and or call the paddy wagon if
right.
they need something bigger because the guy was
right.
big?
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it. I don't get that, man. You see what I'm saying? So, me personally, what Chauvin didn't do everything that what he's supposed to do because he was the arresting officer.
Right.
So it's his fault whether a person gets hurt, whether a person die, so on and so forth. He got to fill a report out about that.
Right. Right.
So and not only that, the whole world is watching him kill this guy.
Yeah.
You know. So what is his defense? What is his defense, man? To me, he didn't think. You know, that situation got out of hand, and somebody got killed.
Yeah.
That's what happened. You know what I mean? That man didn't deserve to die regardless if he had fentanyl or aspirin
right.
in his system.
Exactly.
You know, that system, that incident got out of hand.
Yes.
And he didn't go about it the right way. Neither him or the other guys in that police force went about it the right way, or thought twice enough to say, "Hey, man, let's try to do it another way."
Right.
You know, this is not happening the way it's supposed to happen. You know, let's get 6 more police officers to see what we can do to the guy.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, because at the end of the day, he was murdered.
Right.
And we all seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And now, people can, reinvent history or reinvent what they saw and say, he wasn't really applying that much pressure, and the guy was ODing and dying. They can say what they want.
Right.
We saw it.
Right.
And they can't change the narrative now.
Exactly.
And say, well, he was because he was on drugs. I think actually that his lawyer, the lawyer for the prosecution, is doing a really good job, man.
Yeah.
I think he's doing a good job, and I'm hopeful, but also I'm realistic.
Yeah, you're right, because it can go either way, and I think the reason why we say it can go either way is because of the justice system.
Yeah.
In the way these judges see things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a judge, why would you even let George Floyd's past come into play with what's going on now?
Right.
That doesn't make sense, man.
Right.
You get
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yet they let that come. They let that get into play.
Right. Right.
What about Chauvin?
Right.
Doesn't he have a past too?
Right.
But see, the defense. Well, yeah, the defense didn't bring that up.
Right.
But the prosecution is bringing up George Floyd's pride, convictions and stuff like that. And once again, that has nothing to do with anything. Nothing.
It doesn't, man. And but they're using what they can use, man. To change the story and to because at the end of the day, man, they don't want to say that a big black guy was a victim. He's always the predator,
right?
The aggressor, and they can't, shape that up to say that he was actually the victim. He was actually murdered. He actually yelled out for his mother,
right,
to help him. That's just crazy, man. And I just don't get it. But it just shows me that society hasn't really changed as much as we try to say it has. And they're bracing for
of course
war
they
down
are.
there, man.
It will be more than a war. It'll be an atomic bomb.
Because they got to do right, and they can't justify it by the
Nope.
by the payment that they made, the
Oh
civil
no.
payment.
Oh no. And that's ironic because most of the time when you do a civil payment, that's after the case.
Right.
They did that before.
Right.
So that's an admission of guilt.
That's what
To
I would
me.
assume.
To
Yeah,
me, that's an admission of
what
guilt.
I assume.
Okay, the 27 million is fine, but now it's a consequence.
Right.
You know,
Right.
if you dance to the music, you got to pay the piper.
Exactly, because he was fired, right?
Chauvin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I believe he was
I think-
fired.
and
So he was
he
fired,
locked up now?
and they paid out. So
Yeah.
I mean,
So they saying something.
Right.
They had to have
Right.
a trial. They couldn't just say, "Oh, well, you was dead wrong. I see what's going on. We're gonna fire you, and we're gonna compensate these people's family." They couldn't say that because in the United States of America, everybody's have a fair trial.
right.
Although to me, this is dead wrong, cut and dry,
Yeah.
guilty.
Yeah.
But he has to, he's innocent before proven guilty. Okay, so he having his day in
Right.
court now, and we'll see what happens. And like, once again, I just don't understand it, man. I really don't.
And you know what, man? It does. I don't know why it always does come back to race, but saying that, just putting that narrative out that he was on drugs or that he was a drug addict, gives them the right to kill him is crazy, because we got all these people and all these white people who are on opioids.
Oh yeah.
And there's compassion for them, People have compassion. They don't want to lock them up like they locked up.
They
for
don't
crack.
want to kill him.
They don't want to kill them. And then to see that, it's just crazy, because even the case, and not to switch topics, because I think we really need to stay on the Chauvin case, but
Right.
the guy who shot up all the Asian people.
Yeah.
They said he was having a bad day or something. Is that what they said? Something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
He had a bad day. And
Exactly.
they brought him into custody. Now, he murdered 8 or 10
Cold
people.
blood. Cold blood.
And they were able to subdue him.
Yeah, I don't get it.
You know what I mean?
I don't get it, man.
But-
Now you see what I'm saying.
But to do that, but this guy here, they murdered, and then he's not the only one.
Yeah,
I
I know.
There are thousands, hundreds of thousands that have been murdered by the police or by the system.
Yeah.
And it's just,
And-
it's
yeah.
a tough country, man.
Exactly.
And I don't know. I think there's going to be problems.
It is because number one, the police I don't think really have and truly has changed the way they go about things. Right. And they haven't. They had just been silent.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time the police or the police force can't really admit to wrongdoing.
Right.
Because they want to always be looked at as being an enforcement.
Right.
But in fact, you doing wrong.
Yeah.
Wow, enforcing. If you're the officer of the law, you can't be going around here just doing anything you're supposed to be doing,
Right.
because that's not fair either.
Right.
I think Biden passed that law to the point where now you can sue the actual police officer, right? So if he actually done something that was unjust, you can go after him as well.
You should be able to.
Yeah, because why should they be untouchable?
Right. They're not exempt from prosecution, because wrong is wrong. Man.
Right.
And as the days go on with this case, man, I'm hoping that that the judge will see and really kind of sit with this and say, okay, I know I'm supposed to
Yeah.
rule in this way. But,
Yeah.
if even because what they're saying, he had justifiable force or a reason to use that force.
I'm not buying it, bro.
No?
I'm not buying it. I get what you saying, what they
Right.
saying, but I'm not buying
Right.
it because I didn't see nowhere at no time that if that was justifiable force for him to use that.
Right.
Once again, and I'm not even a police officer.
Right.
I've been in the Navy and I had some, a few combat different things and had some teaching and some skills.
Right.
And once a person is handcuffed and on the ground,
Yeah.
game's over.
Yeah.
So now you got to think, okay, well, this guy's cuffed. So now we got to get him down to the police station.
Right.
He need to get booked, processed, and everything like that.
Right.
So what he's still doing on the street? I don't get it. Now you get what I'm saying. I don't
Yeah.
get it, man. Why wasn't he gone?
Right.
Meanwhile, you got people, you got around, you got a crowd that's brewing, Now they seeing the injustice going on. So now, and you ain't even trying to erase it.
Right.
You just standing out there, and people, the crowd getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Exactly.
He's like,
So not caring, gonna get him locked in jail.
Yeah.
Not caring.
Yeah.
Once again, the situation got away from him.
Yeah.
They can't put first degree murder because he ain't wake up that morning and say, I'm going out here and kill somebody.
Right.
That's why they got a second and a third degree.
Right.
In the different degrees is based on okay, in the instance of him doing this, something happened.
Right.
That's why it's a second or a third degree.
Right.
You know what I mean? He didn't mean to do it.
Right.
It was accidentally.
Right.
But in this situation, by him not using, to me, him not using proper police tactics and judgment caused a man to die.
Yeah.
Under his knee.
Yeah.
So he wasn't thinking.
No,
he wasn't thinking.
No.
Now getting back to the other people that was involved, the dispatcher, the 911 officer. She even said she called the police on the police because she felt it was wrong,
right.
and she was trained. She's trained for this.
Yeah.
So what's going on with that? Did the dispatcher call the police saying, wanting to let somebody know, hey, they may be doing too much over there?
Right.
Did anybody show up, bro?
And further come into court and say that, I'm sure that it's going to jeopardize her job and all that, but she just knows that, she just had to be there to say that.
Right, she had to do something.
Which shows you, like, how upsetting it was to them, just like the young girl who filmed it.
Yep.
She brought her, I think, a little sister into the store because she didn't want her to see what was going on.
Right.
And
it's sad.
It is.
It's sad. Like you said, you have to say something. Like they say, if you see something, say something.
Right.
Something like that, you got to say something, man, because you can't just turn your back on somebody getting killed in the street and you walking down the street looking at it. Something wrong. That was wrong. So for nobody not to say anything, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Do you know what happened to the rest of the police officers that was with him? Did they do anything to them? Did they fire them, or did they put them on administrative leave or whatever?
I'm not sure, man, because I know you said he was like the officer in charge,
right?
And then the subordinates. I guess they did what they. I don't know. I don't know how they could be absolved from this either.
Exactly.
Because they sat there and watched it.
They stood there and watched it.
Yeah.
Nobody even said, "Hey, man, that might be enough."
Right.
Let's try to, you're good.
Right.
A crowd's coming up. A crowd is brewing. Let's wrap this up.
Right.
None of that happened.
I know.
Even they said they said the fire department came and they wouldn't even let them get in to treat the guy. After she was looking and saw that he was
she walked over and
almost
said,
dead, almost. Other than she wanted to see he had a pulse.
Right. Was she like a nurse or something? She was
She was
walking
EMT
by?
or something.
She walked by and said, "Okay, that's too much. There's too much pressure on him.
Yeah.
You're hurting him. You're killing him."
Right. That was an innocent bystander.
Right.
And you still didn't let up. Most people would have had some type of submission. Like, well, I might want to do something. Everybody looking around.
Right.
And let me get up and see what's going on with him.
Right.
But you didn't do nothing. You was nonchalantly killing that man, regardless what you say or what the situation scenario was at that point in time. No fentanyl, no drugs, no alcohol had nothing to do with that. If he had diabetes, that had nothing to do with him dying.
Right. At that moment, what you did was murder him.
Exactly. Cut and dry. Yeah. We should be lawyers, man. We should be a lawyer because that's where I look at things.
Amen.
But sometimes, the law must have like a loophole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I saw a podcast one day in reference to wrongfully convicted people, and these individuals will pick up these cases and go back 20 years and these people be in jail
stuff like that.
and come and get them out of jail based on what's going on now and evidence and stuff like that. So one guy said a lot of times these courtrooms and these judges are going by things like what we just talked about. Those things need to be thrown out.
Yeah.
That whole way of doing things need to be done. Like they're bringing up the past, and this man is dead, or bringing up stuff that don't need to be brought up. Stick to the facts.
That's it.
You know,
if you can't prove your case with the facts, then
right. You know, I always thought if you had witness,
right,
you had evidence. What happened to that?
right.
All of a sudden now stuff. Oh, it looked grainy.
Yeah.
That might be him. That might not be him. Come on, man. If I can tell,
right,
that's you.
Right.
Yeah, that's Rich over there.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be doing that.
Right. Right.
Go and lock him up. You know, but
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is right. What can you say?
Exactly.
Oh, that ain't me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I can see if it was something Hadley dark. Oh, that might not be. You know, a shadow of doubt might
Right.
not be him, but that was clearly him.
Right.
They know who it was. They know what the situation was. So that's out the window. But you don't know what's going on. You see who it is.
Yeah.
Oh, is he doing it? Yeah, he doing it.
Yeah.
Could you see that?
Exactly.
You know, it ain't nobody no fool.
Exactly.
It wasn't dark. It was broad daylight.
Yeah.
Right?
It is.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It's,
That's why I don't get it. That's why I don't get it. I guess that's why lawyers get paid the big bucks.
yeah, I guess so, man. They figure it out. They can weed through it.
Cross-examine and loopholes
Yeah.
to get somebody. If you, I guess if you can cast a shot of a doubt, right? So that's what I hear. If you cast a shot of a doubt, then you can't evict nobody.
Right.
I'm guessing.
And
But in this case, nah, I don't get it, man. I really don't see, you know. But
I know, man, I'm at a loss for words,
Yeah.
man, because every time that image keeps playing over in my head of him there and him, his knee on him, you know,
yep.
and him crying out, you know, please, you know.
And a man calling
not
for his
having-
mama.
calling for his
Whenever a
mama,
man
you don't
calls
have
for
any
your mama,
compassion for
right,
him.
right.
You know,
A man calling for his mama, that means he's done. He's subdued, bro. It's over with for him.
Right.
As far as I'm through.
right. And you know, man, sometimes in life we go too far. Sometimes cops go too far. You know, they might hit and smack you a couple of times.
Yeah,
You didn't need it.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's different from killing you, man.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I can live with that, man.
Right.
You know, if I'm running my mouth and you got me and you smack me a couple extra times,
Thank you.
I can eat that.
But to
But
turn
to
up
murder
dead,
me?
yeah, to turn up dead, nah. Somebody went too far, you know, and that could be in the heat of the moment
Right.
or anything.
Right.
But once again, if you're a police officer, any type of law enforcement individual, you need to have that more self-control.
Yes.
You know, you need to just, in a situation like that's when your training should kick in.
Right.
Well, let me relax. We got it.
Right.
Or I'm not gonna pull my gun when a guy got a stick.
Right.
That's unfair.
Right.
That's unfair.
Right.
I'm not to say I'm not gonna say I'm gonna get hit in the head with a
That's
stick.
right.
So you need to do something other than you need to move or
Right.
something
Right.
or call for backup.
Or
Because
tase
if a
him
person,
or
right,
something.
a person
But you
got
know-
a stick and you kill him,
Right.
that wasn't fair. So, but you gonna say I fear for my life? Nah, come on, man. Come on, Rich.
I know, man.
That's where I think now.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm with you, man.
Right.
It's really, this
You
is
know.
tough. This is really tough, man.
Now, what if? Okay, now we're gonna play devil's advocate. What if, at the hands of all that, George Floyd killed him?
Right.
Okay, let's say that happened,
Right.
scuffle,
Right.
blah blah blah. George Floyd killed him,
Right.
and then he wound up dying. George Floyd on trial.
Right. It would have been over already.
Yeah, yeah, nail him to the cross.
Yeah.
Nail him to the cross.
Yeah.
See, you get it?
It's rough, man. I mean, what are we going? I guess we'll just see how it plays out, bro.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is, and everybody's waiting.
People waiting.
Yeah, yeah, and we may have another podcast about this, but I just I like to talk about stuff like this because it gets me. I'm not gonna say it gets me upset, but I'm thinking
Yes.
what the other person is thinking, what the
Yeah.
defense is thinking.
Right.
But like I said, once again, everybody has their time in court.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But how you gonna deal with this? I don't think Johnny Conk can get him off that.
Serious.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Preaching or not.
Yeah.
You know, you get what I'm saying? See, I can see now. Okay, we want to jump to something else. Now, an OJ situation.
Right.
If somebody take that,
Right.
the OJ, you know, now you got something to see.
Right.
Oh, OJ did that.
Right.
You see what's going on?
Right,
OJ,
right.
you see him doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But now, at that particular time, wasn't nothing like that shown with no footage, no camera. So you can not justify, but you can build a case upon.
Right.
Did he really do it or not?
Right,
Nobody
exactly.
didn't see it.
Right.
I'm like, if you've seen something,
Yes.
that's what it is, right?
That's what it is, man. Eyes don't lie.
Right, right. And then sometimes they throw out stuff like cameras not admissible. Come
Right,
on,
right.
that's the only thing you got to go by.
Right.
The police doing the dirt,
Yeah.
you know. And I think they had a police camera too, and it was they had a body camera of the police, and they was showing them trying to get him in the car.
I thought they got him in the car, then they took him out or something like that.
I saw it today, and it looked like to me they was trying to get him in, but they couldn't.
Right.
That's why I didn't get. Because George Floyd, pretty big
He's a
dude.
big dude, and he was about 6'4" or something like that. He was
Yeah,
something
so
like
but he was already handcuffed.
Right.
So, why couldn't you get him in there? Two people could have been pulling him. Two
Right.
people could have been pushing
Right.
him.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's what but all four of them was out there trying to push him. You need to have somebody on the other side of the car to get him in there,
Right.
right? So if you can't do it, that's what your radio for. Or call back up. We have I ain't gonna say aggressive, but a pretty big dude. We got him in handcuffs. We trying to get him in the squad car. Or not only that, bring the paddy wagon down.
Yeah.
We'll put him in
Put
the
him
truck.
in. Yeah.
If you can't get him like that, sad, man. They pretty much just they perform the justice on the street.
Yeah.
You know, he paid the price
And ultimate
right there on the
price.
street, and it's sad.
It is, man.
You know, but we gonna be all right, man.
That's right.
We
The
gonna be
world
all
is
right.
watching.
Yep, yep. And we gonna wrap this up with another one.
Yeah.
And you got anything else to say?
Oh man, just everybody pay attention.
That's right, that's right. And definitely be vigilant because we got different things out here. And don't forget the Asians.
That's right.
The Asians, they're getting treated bad too.
Right.
And everybody just need to just watch out for everybody. And just relax, calm down, and just get back to loving each other, man.
Serious, man. We got it.
All right, this is Gab with Gab and Richard Carrington. We out.